This happened a few years back during my sophomore year of high school. One thing I should mention is that I went to a public high school that was well known for being one of the largest in the country, with a high graduation rate. Each of the 4 classes had over 1,000 students, and the faculty was probably around 1,000 as well, so there were about 5,000 people in the building at the time. As I would assume most other lockdowns start, the day was pretty normal. I had all my morning classes as usual, then ate lunch and started the second half of my day. I was in physics class at the time and we were doing a project outside. I asked if I could go back in really fast to use the bathroom, and my teacher said sure. The bathroom was right by the entrance door, so I ran in and did my business. As I was washing my hands, a tall, older man in a gray hoodie came in. He looked at me without saying anything and went into the far back stall. I quickly dried my hands and made my way outside. I found it really weird that the guy was dressed like that because anyone that old had to have been a teacher or staff member. I didn't recognize him at all, but the school was huge and I really only knew about 1/4 of the staff, so that wasn't exactly a big deal in my mind. Anyways, I went back outside, and after another 15 minutes of working, my teacher started bringing us back inside. Our school has certain areas that classes are allowed to be brought outside in, and the one we were at was pretty far from our classroom, about a 4-minute walk. Just as the whole class was inside and began making our way to the room, the announcement speaker came on abruptly and declared that the whole facility was now in lockdown. We all looked at the teacher, who was equally confused, but he immediately began rushing us towards the classroom while staying quiet. Halfway there, another teacher looked into the hallway and offered to take us into their classroom as it was large and had plenty of space. We all rushed in and sat against the wall while the 2 teachers talked amongst themselves about what was going on. The whole time I sat there, I was thinking about that man I'd seen in the bathroom and questioning if that was the reason for this lockdown. It gave me chills just thinking about how close I was to him. We were sitting silently for only a few minutes before we heard someone tapping softly on the window outside. Both teachers motioned for us to stay silent as the tapping continued. Then we heard footsteps in the hallway, making their way slowly towards our classroom door. There was a pause, and then a man yelled, "It's okay. I know there's a lot of you in there. Just open the door for me." I started panicking a little bit, and so did most of the class. The man could probably hear the loud crying coming from the room now. The man outside the door started getting more aggressive, yelling and swearing at us as he banged on the door. It sounded like he had a hammer or something, which made all of us even more terrified. This went on for a whole minute before the man that was outside the window yelled for him to stop and said that they had to go right away. Police sirens could be heard from the front of the school, but the man by the door continued banging for another 30 seconds before giving up. We could hear him running back down the hall. Police caught him on his way out of the building, but they never found the second guy. When they released the man's picture, I didn't recognize him, so I still wasn't sure who the guy in the bathroom was. I've always just assumed that he was the second man outside the window that they never caught. The general theory for the crime was that they were trying to break into the science classrooms to steal the expensive equipment, but I don't think that was ever confirmed. So it's still left as a mystery.